Hi, my name's Sherry, and I'm a sugaraholic, and I've been clean and sober for 17 hours. Now, I'm not actually making fun of anyone who has an addiction because I have been one of the worst sugaraholics in the world. And it's something that I believe that we can actually heal from and move on from. And there's just literally about 1 to 5% of people in the world who cannot tolerate sugar at all, just like there are addicts who cannot tolerate any kind of alcohol or drugs. But right now we're actually seeing the science to show us that sugar lights up the brain's dopamine receptors 8 times more than cocaine. And a lot of people have extrapolated on it and said that sugar is more addictive than cocaine. Now, a lot of people don't take that seriously because they've been having sugar all their life. And maybe you're one of those people like me. You grew up with it literally from birth. And maybe you don't even know what it's like to be sugar-free or have that sobriety around sugar. But here's one of the things to note. Even though most people can't overdose on sugar in one sitting, and they can do that with cocaine, over a period of time, sugar is literally killing us. It's a slow killer. So it doesn't kill us overnight, but it's a slow killer. And globally, we see more deaths, sugar-related deaths, from overconsumption of sugar than deaths related to cocaine. Now, of course, you might be thinking, well, a lot of more people are having sugar than cocaine, and that's true. But it doesn't overrule the fact that sugar is connected to 146 diseases and conditions that are lifestyle related that we can actually reverse or prevent by not having sugar and processed foods that are processed, like I call the lethal recipe. And when I talk about the lethal recipe, it's basically any food that is a natural food that's produced in a way that we actually take a natural substance and turn it into cocaine and heroin, stripping the macro and micronutrients, altering it with chemicals and heat, so we end up with the pure substance that's addictive and toxic to the body. And when we eat a volume of this in the form of things like sugar, salts, grains, chemicals, and oils, what happens is we have a meal that looks like it's full of food, but in fact it's what Michael Pollan calls food-like substances. It's not real food, and so you can eat a volume of it and you're not getting any nutrients, so the body's saying, feed me more. And then because it's addictive and it can do things like create drug-like reactions, which we then have downs from, we often will look for something that gives us a corresponding high to the low we've just experienced. And what is it we go for? More processed food. So collectively, even though we don't get killed by a processed food meal in one sitting, over a period of time, it is killing us. And diseases like diabetes, heart disease, cancer are now being shown to be connected to our sugar consumption. And for many people, like myself, who don't like the loss of control, Alzheimer's is one of the scariest because they have treatments for those first 3 diseases I mentioned. There is no known cure or proper treatment for Alzheimer's. In fact, the Alzheimer's drugs not only are proven ineffective, they can actually be accelerating the dementia and brain degeneration. So when I say that sugar is as addictive as cocaine and heroin, you might be thinking, well, I'm not addicted to sugar. I've had sugar all my life and I'm not, killing anyone on the street corner for my sugar. I want you to ask yourself this. Imagine if sugar became illegal overnight and it was just as expensive as cocaine and heroin. What do you think people would do? How would you react? How would it actually impact your body if there was absolutely no refined sugars or refined flours or chemicals that turn into sugars and create those imbalances in your body? If they weren't available overnight, how would that impact you? I interviewed recently one of my former students, Shelley, who was a cocaine addict at one point in her life. And I interviewed her because she acknowledged that it was harder for her to give up sugar than it was cocaine. And it was because it was in everywhere, it was in everything, it was socially acceptable. There's a huge amount of pressure to say no to sugar. We're socially habituated to say yes to sugar. And if you're saying no, a lot of people will kind of judge you. So I don't know about you, but the thought of giving up sugar when I was in my full stages of addiction was so scary. And there was a part of my life too where I thought I had sugar handled because I wasn't having ice cream for breakfast anymore. But the truth was, is I still had a low level of sugar addiction that was causing me to not feel good consistently, have uneven mood swings, and still have this brain fog. So I know what it's like. I know how scary it can be. And what I'd recommend to you is to really start to look at your life. What would it be like for you tomorrow if sugar was absolutely not around? How would you feel? Would you be totally cool with it? You know, would you have options in your life you could totally replace? What I'd encourage you to do is to, one, acknowledge where you are in your sweet freedom journey. Where are you in relationship to sugar? And if there's a piece of you that knows this is a good thing to start working on, to just do one thing. And at Sweet Freedom, we have tons of resources on the website and on YouTube, tons of videos that can just help you do that one thing. We have the 21-day challenge. We have a 7-day challenge. If the thought of giving up sugar is just unthinkable, and you just know that reducing it or actually optimizing and upgrading the types of sugar that you have in your body and learning how to condition yourself to get nourished so that sugar doesn't have as much hold on you, we have those resources for you. We're here to help you. What we'd love to know is your experience around sugar. When I ask you those questions about giving it up, how does it make you feel? What does it bring up for you? What are your fears? What are your challenges? And what are your struggles? And if there was one thing that I could do if I was your Sherry godmother and I could come and help you, what would that thing be and look like that I could actually help you with? Now, I would love to come into your home and cook for all of you, but that is not possible. And what I'm more interested in is empowering you to build a life and make decisions that enable you to make the right choices that are right for your body and the life that you want to be living.
So if you've liked this video, please press like, subscribe to our channel, and for more information, simply go to sweetfreedom.ca.